Hi, it's Gadget UK here again. As you can see, this time looking at the Saturn. Following up from a PlayStation video there where I adjusted the laser voltage, I've always had it in my mind that I wanted to revisit this Saturn. I've not been using it, it's hardly been used at all since I did the laser. It's probably been played for about an hour, it's maybe 2 hours at most. But yeah, the laser I replaced originally, I just set the potentiometer there approximately to what the original one was, and it was the same, looked like the same assembly and everything. But I don't know whether anyone tinkered with it previously, so it might be slightly over. That's the thing, could be slightly over voltage. So just like on the PlayStation, I've got the scopes up here. I'll just show you. If you use the 2 volt peak to peak square wave here, you can see that I've got it from the bottom to the top again, you know, from the line. I think on the previous video it was slightly more than that actually. Sorry, just about to see that there. So the whole scope, you know, the whole height there, those 8 divisions, 8 blocks is, you know, 8 divisions, which are the 0.25 volts each. So yeah, if I now show you, there are 4 wires. I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit. Now it's going to vary between the different models of Saturn CD-ROM drive, but you can see we've got 4 wires here, and underneath the 4th wire, the one on the right of the 4, goes to a test pad that's marked RF, and that you know, is the same in the service manual. I looked at the service manual first, so if I just monitor that, my meters. Sorry, I need my ground connected. My probe is on ×10 setting, so the impedance doesn't interfere. Just point you, sorry I know it's bouncing all over, it is a short video. Point you the scope there, you can see we're on, we've got the IPAN up and we've got 1, 2, 3, 4 and about half. So we're over 1.1 volts there, somewhere around the 1.1 volt mark. So I think I'm going to just pull that down a bit to nearer to 900 millivolts. I'll also need to test it with a burnt disc as well, because I've got a chip this. It will run burnt discs as well. We'll just make sure that burnt discs are working. But it'll be interesting to see what voltages we get there on a burnt disc. You know, the difference between a pressed media that's in there now and a burnt disc. In fact, let's do that now. You've seen 1, 2, 3, 4, 4.5. So I'll switch it off, switch it on. We'll put a burnt disc in. So I've got a burnt disc in now. 1, 2, 3, 4. It's not far off actually. It's not dissimilar. Well, let's wait till we get an audio track, because it might drop a little bit. Yeah, that's an audio track. 1, 2, 3, 4 and a bit. So it's not actually dissimilar on the burnt, you know, with burnt disc. I'll show you. Got burnt disc spinning away there. I had to have the cartridge in because it's a different region, and it won't boot without the action replay there from a different region. So yeah, I'll try adjusting the laser voltage. I think I'm just going to reduce it a bit, see if we can get nearer to the 900 millivolts. I think in the manual, service manual, it says from 800 millivolts up to, you know, a specific voltage. So we could go right down as low as 800, but I'm going to go for about 900, I think. So I don't know whether you can see the pot is just down there. So from under here, like this, we can actually adjust the pot relatively easy. Previously marked that, you can see there's a little blue, well you might not be able to see, there's a little blue mark on the pot, from just so I know where the original setting was. I mean, I've got it now on the camcorder anyway. I can always look back at the video I've just taken there to set it back exactly as it was, but yeah, let's give that a tweak. So for the purposes of this, I've got an original disc in. So I've turned it a tiny bit one way. See, that's actually gone up. Let's just turn it the other way. Switch it off. So I've turned it the other way. I'll show you which way I've turned it just to reduce that in a minute. Yeah, so we've got 4.5 blocks there. So yeah, it's probably almost back on its original voltage actually. Just let that get to an audio track. Yeah, 1, 2, 3, 4. Maybe a touch under 4. So what have we got there? About a volt. So I've reduced it a bit more. Original disc seems to be working. Let's see what we've got. So yeah, it's only reduced it a tiny bit again. 4 blocks, so it still looks about a 1 volt, doesn't it? Yeah, that's a bit lower now, isn't it? It's about 3.5. If I move that down a bit, so approximately there, yeah, 1, 2, 3 and 3/4. Yeah, that's probably about 900 millivolts, I think. We're not far off. So I'll try it with a burnt disc and just see if it still works. It's working fine with an original disc. So this is with the burnt disc. Yeah, can you see the IPAN's really low there? So yeah, it does need tweaking up a little bit, I think. The game's loaded, but you can see we've got not even 3, probably just about 3 divisions there. That's like, if it's 0.25, it's like 0.75 of a volt, isn't it? It's pretty low. It's just a bit low, so I think I'll just bump it back just a tiny little bit. Yeah, so I've increased a tweak there. It's not made much difference, has it? It's still a bit low. I mean, the game's loaded, but yeah, that's pretty low actually. It's surprising. When I tried it with the burnt disc before, I didn't see such a voltage drop, but yeah, with this burnt disc, that's very low actually. I think I'm going to need to put it back on its original setting, so it wasn't far off what it should be on actually. Although it's working, so I might just test it. I might just continue to test it for a bit and see how well it works at that level. Yeah, so I'm just testing my backup of Virtual Cop 2. I'll put the original one in a minute. But I mean, it's loading. It's just still very low, you know, 0.75 volts there or something. But it is working.
Let's go.
As you can see, you've got the, you know, that's the burnt backup, and the game's working. We've got the audio, no loading problems. I mean, it will last longer at the voltage it's set to at the moment. That's one thing. I guess I could always adjust it again. So I'll just try with my original Virtua Cop. Let's just give the original Virtua Cop 2 a go, just to see the difference. Disc spinning. Yes, I got 1, 2, 3, yeah, almost 4. Maybe, you know, so it's around the 7. Sorry, yeah, around the 100 millivolts mark, I think there. It's not quite 4. I think I've adjusted up. Well, let's wait for it to get to an audio track. That's the thing, really. That's the key. I should just be using an audio disc for this. It would be easier. Yeah, there's an audio track. Yeah, about 3 3/4. So we are around the 900 millivolts mark there on an original press disc. So I'm just going to give it a go on that setting actually, and just see how I get on with it. I'll try a number of discs. I don't want to put it back as it was. I'd rather just leave it reduced slightly. And I'll just show you if I can. See if I can get in close. It's a bit of a mess this, because I've got stuff everywhere here. Can you see the pot? Sorry, just a tad close there. You can see the blue marking. There's one on the base, can you see, on the silver bit, and there's one on the pot, and I've just moved it that way, you know, upwards that way. So I guess if you look at it, if you were to look at it from the pot from this side, from this side here, I've moved it counterclockwise rather than clockwise. If you move it clockwise, you'll increase the voltage. Counterclockwise on this particular one is, you know, from the right hand side, looking at from the right side here, is decreasing it slightly. So just testing with my original Die Hard here, one of my original games. You can see how much slower this is compared to the PlayStation version actually. It's bloody jerky as anything. It's amazing the difference. I've never noticed it. I knew it was slower. I did mention that when I initially did my Saturn repair, just from memory, but actually having played it now, I'm surprised at how much slower it is. It's like 30 or 40% slower than the PlayStation 1 version. As soon as you get explosions and things going off, it grinds to a halt. But it's still a good game. So just testing the burnt disc here, Sega Ages. Working fine. I think that's an audio track, if I remember rightly. In fact, what I'll do is I'll just turn that disc out, go back in, and just check. I think it's an audio track. Let's just wait for it to read the disc. Yeah, they're audio tracks. This is actually a good test to do, actually. Because I remember when I was first messing with the laser, this is the best place to test it, actually, just in the you know, the audio player here. And just listen for distortions and things, but also just scan up the tracks, you know, make sure you can access every track, because I remember with the weak laser I had, or when the laser's not on the optimal setting there, can find you get problems further into the disc, you know, as the higher track number. Seems fine. It's afterburner, isn't it? Love that track, it's awesome. Space Harrier. Yeah, that's working fine. So just testing a bit of Guardian Heroes here, as you can see, it's working fine, and it sounds fine as well, you know, the audio tracks. So I've measured there between ground and the RF test point. I've got the probes on reversible round, so it's showing minus, it's not. 3.215-ish is what I've got that set to. So it's there if you need it. So all reassembled. Thanks for watching. See you soon.